Okay, here's a update. That's my fingers in front of the camera lens. This is the Encycrotella olivacea. You can see the area where the spider webbed in, and that's where it was hiding the whole time since I moved it in here. It's not been that long, only a week or so. Well, she was walking around outside of the enclosure last night. She was crawling around the sides, and she kind of, I'm saying she just because it's what I say. She made a little webbing area underneath that vertical or that diagonal log there. So I was like, well, I'll try feeding her. I threw a cricket in there and she took it. So I was like checking her out, trying to get some pictures of her, and I can't get the lighting set up right. So I need to put the light on the actual camera here to be able to get pictures of her. So I figured I'd videotape it first, because these, we're not really getting seriously clear, good coloring photos of her or him. Didn't gain a ton of size. Well, I'm saying that because I found that inside there. So, like I said, I put her in here about a week ago. I'd have to look and see the exact date of when I put her in here. So, I didn't know she molted. And I probably should have checked that before I fed her just to be sure, but she took the cricket, and she wouldn't have if she wasn't ready to eat. But I was actually kind of surprised that when I found the molt that she's actually eating already. This is a spider here that I want to get a few more of. I'd like to have, maybe 3, 4, 5 of these. Hopefully have an opportunity to breed them. I know a couple people that are trying right now. I know a friend of mine in the UK that's had successful pairing but hasn't had a sack yet. And a few people here in the States have a few immature pairs that hopefully they'll be able to mate soon. But this is something I definitely would like to work with as a project. This species here, this genus. As old world breeding, because I'm not going to really do too much of the old world stuff. If anything, it'll be the Poecilotheria subfusca highland. Other than that, maybe the Balfours, but I'd like to breed this girl. Definitely my Serrata Jar Starlingi female when she gets the breeding age. So I'm trying to look for some slings of those, to get like 3 or 4 of them to try and grow a male up. So when she's ready, the male would be ready too. So I'll have to figure out some things, but I am definitely going to rethink how and what I'm keeping here. Because I did want to get into, a little bit of Brachypelma breeding, but depending on how quick, these things take a long time. I don't have any that are adults, Brachypelma. So it's going to take forever for me to get them to the point where they're mature. And by the time that they do that, I may not even be able to do this anymore. So, I'd like to do some stuff with a few species that I really, really, really like. And the Poecilotheria subfusca highland, this one here, and the Serrata Jar Starlingi are probably my 3 favorite old world species. The Ornithoctone species Laos also, but that thing's just a tiny little sling. There's a couple that would be nice to breed, like the Sednoptimus brachyramosa, if I can ever get it to grow past 1 inch, because they don't get very big. They're more of a dwarf species. So those would be nice, and also my wonderful Cheeto. I'd like to breed her. So old world wise, they're really it. But this spider here is definitely my favorite old world species. This one right here. So yeah, I was pretty excited, but I was a little mad at myself for not really checking to see if the spider had molted. I kind of had a feeling, because the way it webbed itself in there. But so I'm going to try and spread this molt out and see if I can't find a Uterus externus. It may be way too small yet. They don't have spermathecae as females, this species. So you're really only looking for the flap, not the spermathecae of the two. Sometimes there are only one, Now the little, you know, they're varying in sizes, so I'm just going to use the whole, you know, like the bunny ears. Now if you looked at the Ceratojaurus darlingi, the uterus externus and the two spermaticae, the way it's shaped, it looks like a frog, you know, like a drawn frog with the two eyes on top and, you know, the shape of the face. But I'm kind of moving all over the place here with this camera. But I thought I'd throw this on there, and then I have another video of Chindy, the GBB, just doing a quick happy dance in the macro shot. It's real close up. You'll get a real close up shot of her face. I'll add that onto this so that there's just that one extra little thing that you guys can see. But there's my Miranda, Poecilotheria Miranda. I'm expecting her to molt by mid-February. That's my guess. She's still eating though, so it's hard to tell. Okay, well, I got some spiders coming in today. 4 Neoholtheliense. I think I am just going to go ahead and put them together. They're 1-inch spiders, so they're a little bit bigger than the ones I got before, at the 1/2-inch mark. And then I'm getting another small Hysterocrates gigas. If it's about the same size as the one I have, because they are sac baits, I'm going to put that one in with the other one, because they will live communally also. They get big, you know, that's a 7, 8, 9-inch spider easy as a female, so we'll see. I think they'll be okay. Like I said, they are sac mates, and they do okay communally. So we'll try that, and then the Brachypelma albiceps. I'm not really quite sure how big it is, but I'm betting it's not any bigger than the little tiny dot that I already have. This guy here. Let's see if you guys can see him. I don't think you'll be able to, but we'll give it a shot. Oh yeah, you might. You see how tiny he is. It molted once, believe it or not. And this, it'll take pre-killed prey every now and then, but generally I just throw some fruit flies in there. And I'm assuming it eats them because there's no way for the fruit flies to get out. And I don't find them, you know, the next time I go to try and feed. And then the last update is we had 3 of the 4 praying mantises also pass away, so there's only 1 left. And I don't know, it's eating. It's one of the ones that hasn't molted yet, so I'm not optimistic on... apparently I'm not doing something that I should be doing. And even though I talked to some mantis keepers, and, you know, everything that I explained, they said you didn't really do anything different or anything wrong. Temperatures are okay because, you know, they're in the same room here as the tarantulas, so it's not a matter of them being cold. They weren't by windows, they weren't by outside walls, they were kept away. Matter of fact, they were over by the... they were kept on top of the aquarium with the geckos, so they have the light for the geckos to keep the geckos warm during the day, so they had heat. And they were sprayed every other day, and they were fed every other day. So I'm just not quite sure what I did wrong with them, but apparently I did something. And this is not something that I would ever do again with the mantises. Not having to take care of this many spiders. If it was strictly just taking care of them and you can focus your attention on them, I think it would be a little bit easier. But being the first time trying to go through that, yeah, there's no way that I would do that again. So if you do find, you know, a wild ooth and you have that bug that you, oh, I want to try it, yeah, I don't know that I would. I'm not saying don't, but I guarantee I would never do it again. So if I had, you know, if we caught another one that laid an ooth, I would winterize that ooth, and then springtime I would just glue it somewhere outside and let it hatch on its own and let them be on their own. Okay, well, the Encycrotella olivacea is doing a happy dance here, doing some webbing. So, alright, well, I'm going to upload this, and hopefully in the next couple hours we'll have that package coming in, and I can go pick that up before we get this supposed ice storm we're supposed to get here this afternoon. And apparently the roads are going to be not very well, not advisable to drive on, so I don't want to risk getting into an accident to go get the spiders, but I also don't want them sitting at FedEx for the next couple days either. So I'm probably going to leave here around 11 o'clock ish, because they should be in by noon at the latest, I would imagine. So okay, so we'll expect another one of these little dudes that will probably take, it's 2018, so probably in 2020 we might see some coloring on these guys. All right, guys, have a great day. We'll leave you with a quick shot of Cheeto. If you guys are on any of the Facebook groups, if you're on Tarantula Gossip, Cheeto is the cover girl for the group for this month. The picture that I took of her won the contest, so she's going to be on the cover photo for Tarantula Gossip for the whole next month, I believe. I don't know how long, if they're doing it monthly or how they're doing it, but yeah, that was pretty exciting. It was the first time that I've ever, actually a second time, because I did have my spider, one of my spiders, the Vicularia metallica, was on one of the classified groups that is now no longer around. So that was kind of cool to have little Cheeto win, and we'll go over the Fimbriatus later. So have a good day. And I'll see you guys later with an unboxing, hopefully 6 healthy spiders. And we'll see you guys later.